Welcome to the Consulting Success Podcast. I'm your host, Michael Zapersky. In this podcast, we'll dive deep into the world of elite consultants, where you'll learn the strategies, tactics, and mindset to grow a highly profitable and successful consulting business. Hey, it's Michael Zapersky, and today I'm going to be doing a solo cast. You got me and me alone, and I'm going to be sharing with you the 3 keys to consistently get new consulting clients. This is a really interesting topic because really what we're talking about, or what I'm going to be sharing with you today, is the marketing approach, I'm going to call it a principle. And really it's a series of principles. It's a series of ideas, but they continue to play out when you apply them. So the interesting thing about marketing for consultants is that for many people, they overcomplicate it. They look at all the different trends. They look at all the new latest shiny objects, the tools, whether it's on social media or some automation or fancy CRM systems. And they're always looking for the latest and best, hoping that the new tools will allow them to see better results in a shorter period of time, right? Really what people are looking for, and what I think all of us are looking for, is a hack, right? We're looking for a shortcut. And while that's enviable and understandable and desirable, the reality is that when you look at marketing in the consulting business, shortcuts rarely exist. And the reason for that is simple. It's because we're in the business of building meaningful relationships with ideal clients, right? We're not selling a pair of socks. We're not selling a bag of chips. We're not selling things directly to consumers at a low price point. We're selling transformation. We're delivering high levels of value, which comes at a premium price tag. Right? A significant investment from the buyer and a significant level of commitment, both in terms of monetary, but also in terms of time and potentially risk as well. And that's why it's so important that you're focused on developing relationships with your ideal clients. Now, I said there's 3 keys to attract and to get consulting clients, and there are, and that's what I'm going to share with you today. Because these are the 3 keys. These are the principles that continue to be applied, or I should say when they are applied, they continue to deliver results for consultants. And the interesting thing about these is that the principle, the keys have stood the test of time. Whether you've been a consultant for 20 years, or you've been a consultant for 5 years, or you're just brand new to consulting, the effectiveness of what I'm going to share with you remains the same. And that level of effectiveness is very high when applied consistently. But I started off just talking about how most consultants, most people are looking for a shortcut. And that shortcut, that desire to find something that's going to get you a result in a shorter period of time through some kind of technology or tool or something that is different than what I'm going to be sharing with you in terms of the 3 keys, rarely produces the kind of results for people and does not happen consistently. There's, of course, edge cases, right? There's some situations where you can find it working for someone, but those who struggle to see results with our marketing oftentimes are trying to benefit from some kind of new tool or new technology without applying the key principles that I'm going to share with you here today. So I really want to encourage you, if you're saying, yes, Michael, I want to get greater results. I want to attract more clients. I want to be able to enjoy a thriving pipeline of business without having to go from month to month wondering how things are going to work out and riding the roller coaster and the feast and famine. I want to really encourage you to not only listen to what I'm going to share with you here and what I'm going to offer respectfully, but even more importantly is that you take action. That's my ask, right? I'm giving this with the hopes that you will, I should say with the hope that you will really implement. Because understanding is one thing, learning is one thing, right? Having this information is one thing, but at the end of the day, if you don't apply it, you're not going to see the result from it. And that's what I want you to see. That's what gets me energized. That's what gets me motivated. That's why I do what I do, is because I really committed to seeing people creating real change and getting better results in their business. That's why I love working with our clients so much. So let's get right into it. I want you to imagine that there's 3 check boxes. Okay, there's 3 boxes that you need to be able to check to get all of this working for you. And so it starts with the first checkbox. Again, in order for you to be able to attract and to get consulting clients into your business consistently, you need to have all 3 of these boxes checked. So the first box is ideal client clarity, right? We do a lot of work with our clients in our Clarity Coaching program to help them to get clear on who is their ideal client. right? And so this involves not only knowing who you should target, but also making sure that they're the right person to target, right? If you go after one type of ideal client or someone who you believe is an ideal client, but they're not a decision maker, or they don't have a real pain, or they don't have a desire, or if there's no real priority for them to take action now on what you're offering, then you likely will be unsuccessful. However, if we flip that coin and we say that you are very clear that you figured out how to align your strengths, your expertise, your experience, your proven track record, your interests, and potentially even passions, although that's not necessary. You can be successful without being fully passionate about your area of work, although you should enjoy it. But if you align that with a buyer who has those problems, who's looking for a solution that you can actually solve, has the ability to make a decision, right? Has the ability to invest at a level that is required from both sides to have fair compensation and real value. If you understand that, if you know who that person is and you're now very clear on them, well, now you can target them, right? Now you know who they actually are. You can start to identify them. You can find them, right? If you go onto LinkedIn, there's millions and millions of people. But if you know how to actually identify your ideal client with a few clicks, you can actually see specifically the company and the person that meets all the criteria in your geographic area that you're targeting, in the specific industry that you're targeting, the right title of job, the right size of company, and a whole bunch of other factors. So you can get very, very clear on who your ideal clients are. But if you go too wide, if you don't really know who your ideal client is, or if you haven't figured out how to identify the right area of, we'll call it specialization or niche or niche, depending on how you pronounce it, without that, then you will struggle, because all of your marketing, all of your messaging, everything that you do will not target a specific person, right? A specific type of person. So then it's very hard, first of all, to find them, right? To identify them, but also to get your message in front of them efficiently and effectively. So box number one that you need to be able to check is to have real clarity around who your ideal client is. Now, the second box is your magnetic message. So this is your marketing message. This is your USP. This is your value proposition. We call it a magnetic message. It's a message that pulls in, right? Gets the attention and interest of your ideal clients, that resonates with them, that aligns with what they care about, has them saying, yes, I'd like to learn more. I'd like to have a conversation with you. Tell me more about that. Now, in order for you to have an effective magnetic message, you need to actually know who your ideal clients are. Because what makes a message effective is that it resonates, right, and is relevant to your ideal client. So you must have ideal client clarity to be able to develop a magnetic message. You must be able to subtract, to say no to a lot of different people and a lot of different opportunities, and get very clear on who is it that you're really targeting and what are you actually offering them? What is on their mind? And there's typically three components or parts to a magnetic message, right? It's who is your ideal client? What is their problem, and what results or benefits or outcomes will they see when you help them, right, as a result of you working together? And then the third is, why should they choose you? What makes you different? What makes your solution or you as a consultant different than other alternatives that they have in the marketplace? And so your magnetic message, when it conveys and hits on those 3 points and really speaks to your ideal client, it will get them to raise their hand. It will have them respond and say, yes, I'd be happy to talk, or yes, let's set that up, or we're actually dealing with this issue right now. I'd love to pick your brain, or I'd love to explore how you've helped other organizations deal with this before. And so that's the second checkbox, is you have to be able to tick magnetic message, because if you don't have a message that resonates, you're not going to be able to generate leads and inquiries and opportunities. I remember we had one client that worked in the supply chain industry, and she had been spending a lot of time kind of banging her head against the wall, pounding emails, hitting the keyboard, trying to get her ideal clients to respond to her. Her ideal clients were executives in large distribution and kind of consumer packaged good companies, but she was not having success. And when we looked at kind of her situation, she was in our Clarity coaching program. We really looked at, like, what was she doing? How did she have things set up? Who is she targeting? What message was she putting in front? It became very apparent that her message was not magnetic. She had a message, but it was not magnetic. It was not getting the interest. While we work with a lot of seasoned and experienced consultants here at Consulting Success, I'm often contacted by new early stage consultants. Invariably, the question I'm asked is, what are the steps I should take to become a successful consultant and grow my consulting business to
to my first 6 figures per year? Well, I'm excited to announce that we've opened the doors for our Momentum program. This is our most popular program for early stage consultants, and it has helped almost 1,000 consultants to start, run, and grow successful consulting businesses. It gives you the step-by-step plan to help you with your messaging, your fees, and pricing strategies, how to win more proposals, how to go to market more effectively, developing a marketing system to generate leads consistently, and so much more. And right now, until September the 19th, you can sign up for Momentum and get 50% off the regular price by going to consultingsuccess.com/audio. That's consultingsuccess.com/audio, AUDIO. Only 100 spots are available to join Momentum and get 50% off. This deal is only available until September the 19th or until all 100 spots are gone. We won't be opening up new spots in this program for several months, so don't wait. Go to consultingsuccess.com/audio. That's consultingsuccess.com/audio, AUDIO.
And so we looked at that, and the big thing here that I noticed right away is that it was just too general. It wasn't speaking to the right person. It didn't have any like oomph to it, right? There's no oomph factor. There's no real compelling points to have someone say like, yeah, okay, I want to speak to you, as opposed to all the other consultants out there that are probably also knocking on my door or have been. So when we reworked her magnetic message, what happened is as soon as she updated her LinkedIn profile, her website, and her emails with that magnetic message, she started reaching out to ideal clients. She got responses. People said, yes, let's set a time. People started reaching out to her without her even having to go to them, because the message resonated. When people saw the message, it resonated with them, and they wanted to learn more about that and what she was offering. And the same can be true for you. Now, the third checkbox, the third and final, is a consistent way to get in front of your ideal clients. This is really critical, because you might have mastered your ideal client clarity. Like, you know who your ideal clients are. You may have mastered your messaging and you feel really good about it. But if you don't have a way to get that message in front of the right ideal clients consistently, well, then you're not going to be getting enough opportunities. You're not going to have enough people raising their hand saying, I want to speak with you, because not enough people will be seeing your message. And when they see your message, right, then they want to have a conversation if there's a good fit there. So the third checkbox is ensuring that you have a consistent way to get in front of your ideal clients. Now, what's really important about this is it should be a direct path, meaning that you need a way to get in front of your ideal clients where you don't have to rely on others. So as an example, referrals, where you wait for people to come to you. This is how a lot of people practice referrals. They wait and someone contacts them through someone else. And that's not a direct path, because you're not in control of it. If people come to you, fantastic, but you can't rely on that. And every consultant that I've ever worked with over the last decade plus, and I've been building consulting businesses now for 19 years, and I've seen this in our own business, that when you just wait for referrals to come, you will at one point start to see that referrals will stop to come. They'll decrease. That referral well will start to dry up. When that happens, it can be really disheartening. It can be challenging. It can impact your self-esteem, not to mention your bank account. So the best way that you can solve that issue is to ensure that you are taking action on your marketing consistently, and that you're doing it in a way that you can control. So if you're proactive with your referrals, that certainly can help, but you want a direct path. So a direct path, for example, would be putting a message in front of your ideal clients, which could be through LinkedIn. It could be through email. It might be picking up the phone, right? It might be going to the places where they are, or if you have a way to get in front of those ideal clients, let's say through speaking engagements, right? Or you're writing a column in a newspaper specifically, or consistently, I should say, that can also work. But what's important here is the path that you choose, it should be repeatable. So going to speak at a big national event once a year or even twice a year, that does not check the box, because it's not repeatable in a consistent manner, right? Trying to hit like a home run once a year, twice a year is not going to set most people up for long-term success, because there's too much variance. There's too many variables that you don't control in that, right? You need to be able to get up to bat on a daily, weekly basis and consistently doing that. That's why marketing is so important. That's why the most successful consultants practice their marketing consistently. Now, the other important thing that I want to encourage you to keep in mind is there's a real big difference between long-term and short-term marketing tactics. A lot of consultants talk about blogging or creating content. That is a long-term tactic. It's powerful. It's something that everyone should be doing, but because it helps you to demonstrate your authority, right? And to create more opportunities. But again, it's not in your control whether or not people see it and interact with it. There's too many variables. So you should be doing that, but that is not the driver. You can't tick your box and say, yeah, I'm just putting out content on a LinkedIn daily or Twitter daily or whatever. And so that's how I'm getting in front of my ideal clients. And I hope that one day they're going to maybe see it and contact me. That doesn't count. But what does count, a short-term approach, the opposite of that is sending an email to your ideal client, picking up the phone and giving them a call, doing a follow-up email or a follow-up message or a message on LinkedIn, right? Getting in front of them consistently. Or you know that they're going to be at certain events, you add that layer to it. So what I want to encourage you to think about with your marketing is layers, right? You have your core strategy that you're working on a daily and weekly basis that's getting you in front of your ideal client in a most direct path. But then you layer onto that a percentage of your time where you're spending on the longer term strategies. And that might be putting out videos. That might be writing articles. That might be doing webinars, right? It might be attending certain events. These are all good things. And you should be doing as much of them as you can once you identify something that is working for you. But don't mix up the difference between a long-term and a short-term marketing tactic. Because if you start with long-term marketing tactics, be prepared that it might take many, many months or even 12 to 18 months for it to really start working for you. I've seen a lot of consultants reaching out to us and saying, hey, I've been following what all these gurus are saying online, and I've been blogging and putting out content and doing videos, and I've been doing it for 12 months or 18 months or some cases like years. And I'm not really seeing my business is doing okay, but it's not really growing to the level that I want. I'm wondering why. I'm trying all the stuff that people say that I should be doing. Well, the reason why is because they don't have a direct path. They're not doing it in a repeatable fashion. They're not using a shorter term, a more, right, again, direct way to get in front of their ideal client. So what they're doing is not wrong, but it needs to be balanced depending on how mature their marketing is. So if you already have a lot of leads coming in, then you can spend more time on long-term strategies. But if you right now want to really get your pipeline going, then it's important that you spend more time, right? You weight your time, higher percentage in the shorter term, more direct approaches, more direct outreach to get in front of your ideal clients, because that you can control, right? You can control how many people you email, how many people you pick up the phone and call, how many people you follow up with. You can control that. You can't control when you put a blog article on your website or onto LinkedIn or whatever platform it is. You can't control how many people see that, and you can't control whether or not they're going to respond to you. So that's why it's important that you balance those. But again, coming back to the third checkbox, right? It's a consistent way to get in front of ideal clients. Now, the big mistake, again, that people make is they either try and start with long-term, right? Or they're doing marketing and they might even be doing it consistently, but they're missing clarity on their ideal client and their magnetic message. So if you want to really be able to get consulting clients consistently for your business and have a thriving pipeline of opportunities, you want to be able to check all three boxes: ideal client clarity, magnetic messaging, and a consistent way to get in front of ideal clients. You don't need to overcomplicate it. You don't need to feel pressure by all the different new technologies and tools and approaches that people are talking about online these days. Some of the stuff works, but a lot of it doesn't, because a lot of it moves too far away from the fundamentals, from the principles that have been proven over time. If you really want to get your business moving, if you really want to get in front of your ideal clients, then follow the three keys that I just shared with you here today. Be able to tick each one of those boxes. And if you're thinking, you know what, I'm not that clear yet on my ideal client, or my message isn't magnetic yet, I really want to be able to get more response from my messaging, or I'm not, again, clear on my area of specialization, how to take all my years of experience and expertise and really package it and position it and price it and place value on it the right way, or you don't know how to get that marketing engine up and running where you're able to consistently get in front of your ideal clients in an efficient and effective way, then just reach out. You can go to consultingsuccess.com, click on the coaching button. You can see how we work with consultants. We work with hundreds of consultants, helping them to add millions and millions of dollars to their businesses by applying these three keys and this set of principles to their business. And we'd be happy to speak with you as well. Thanks for tuning in. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Consulting Success Podcast. For more episodes and to subscribe, rate, and leave a review, head on over to iTunes. And And if you'd like to develop consistent lead flow and a highly profitable consulting business, learn more about our coaching programs at consultingsuccess.com.